Hey everyone, this is Karen Waksman, founder of Retail MBA. Today we're going to be talking about product life cycles. So if you have a great product and you've heard the term product life cycle, you're trying to understand it, this little training will give you some things to think about and how it relates to retail chains. With that said, let's get started on today's training. So let's talk about retail product life cycles and just how people think about product life cycles for retail chains and so forth. So what's a product life cycle? Basically, for years, people have been saying there's a limit to the amount of time you have with a consumer product that'll be alive. So basically, once you put it out into the world, they see an expansion and a decline of a certain product. And there's a lot of people talking about that over the years. And I just want to talk about what that means for you. So they say there's stages, basically. There's the market development stage where you're creating the thing and bringing it out to market. And then there's the market growth time of your life where it's growing the product and it's scaling up. And then there's a maturity level where it's getting to be, things are leveling off and things are starting to getting mature. And then finally the market decline, that's like the definite stage where you're losing your product, it's not making any money, that type of thing. And a lot of times they give them different, there's so much information about the length of stay, up to 6 years or something like that. And so the reason I mention this is because product life cycle comes up a lot. And I just wanted to explain to you what retailers will tell you and then what I've seen after doing this for so many years. I started selling to retail chains back in early 2000s. I've seen a lot of stuff. And because we're a generalist, we work with every product category since the very beginning. Anything from high-end clothing to consumer electronics to toys, you name it, we have food, all the stuff. And the reason we did that was because I just found it fascinating how people who create consumer products generally like products. That's what they do. So I never understood why a rep agency would just focus on one product category when eventually you're going to come up with new products. And it's just an inherent nature of consumer products. I've just noticed that people like products in general. And so I wanted to learn from the very beginning how all the different products works. And so we worked with every product category, worked out pretty well. We've helped a lot of people in a lot of categories make a lot of money. And so anyways, so as I'm talking about product life cycles, what I really believe about it is it's hogwash, because I've seen some products seriously go to market. They're innovative. They're interesting. They go nowhere. Why do you think that is? A lot of times it's the person behind the product. They're anxious, they're nervous, they're stressed. Something happens, they don't push through, they don't tweak, they don't adjust. I had a person reach out to me recently. They came out with this great idea. A big company copied them. Their life's over. That person has been fighting with them for years, hasn't made any money. Meanwhile, another person might come in and say, okay, this is a disaster, and what am I going to do with that? Does that make sense? And then they maybe adjust the product, make it more innovative, tell a better story. You pick yourself up. You don't collapse. I don't know about product life cycles in terms of that, because I've seen a lot of that happen over the year where people are not owning what they created or did, and they cause themselves a lot of harm. But mathematically, if you want to say there is certain stages of a business and then suddenly it collapses, sure, that happens with everything. If I had believed in product life cycles, I wouldn't be selling some version of this program since 2009-ish. I seriously have been told that my thing is going to die. And there was times where the business was in trouble. I won't lie. Copycats came in, problems happened. You fight and you fix it. I consider what I sell a product. But let's get back to all of you. So there's different stages. There'll be times when you're succeeding. There's times where there's market saturation. There's a lot of reasons why a product begins to decline. And how bad do you want it? So I can go on and on about the mathematics of you might have a 6-year window. Honestly, if I was to give you any advice, and I only say 6 years because a lot of times they have that in those formulas listed online and all these things about product life cycles, I would say this. when you go to market, generally, once you start getting it into stores, bigger stores, there's people going to notice you, right? You got a buyer to say yes. It's a money game. So people are going to start jumping all over what you're doing. Generally speaking, you want to play a big game, you got to push forward fearlessly. You got to go after more stores, get more market share, and you got to be willing to commit and do whatever it takes in a positive way, hopefully, and just get the job done. And then continue to innovate, create more, adjust it. Why do you think buyers ask you to come up with a few different varieties of your product or whatever it is to make the thing sell? Continue to do what it takes when it declines, when it matures. However, I want you to know that I have people who've been selling at chain stores one stupid product 15 years. I'm talking to big established chain stores. Many people I know who have had the same product consistently sell year over year. If there's any decline, they adjust it, they tweak it. Maybe they add a little functionality to it. They're on it. And if you tell me that your product just is amazing online and it's not doing well in stores, it's usually something you did that didn't fix it. Like, for instance, I had a client who's got this product. She's crushing it online. Retailers saying it's too expensive for them. They have other issues going on. She won't fix the pricing because she likes it online. What can I do? It's not going to convert. So what does that tell you about product life cycles? It'll tell you that it varies based on the human being, the circumstance, the situation. And so I would seriously ignore everybody and focus on going as strong as you possibly can for as long as you can and just getting the job done. And if the buyer starts selling your product and it's not converting, there's probably 20 ways you can fix it. There's so many things I've seen over the years where they say the product didn't sell in their stores, but did they put it in the right section of the store? Did they mess up the clip strip of where it was located? Did something happen that the thing didn't convert? Did you not understand the market as a whole as to what they're willing to spend money for? Did you do some sort of coupon? I don't buy any of it. There's a million things that you can do to adjust and tweak, and you can fight. And even if it doesn't work with one store or two stores, come back to another store. There's so many retailers that can pick up your product and you can fix it. You can change your brand name. You can do something entirely unique, meaning that you're selling one product, it's not converting, you killed it, go back with another name. I don't know, whatever it takes, it's still the same product. And that's how I see it. So you can take my advice or not, but ultimately when I think of product life cycles for retail chains, explain to me how some products are around for 15 years and 10 years and a long time. Maybe they are the odd ones, but some products you're always going to buy, right? How are those CPG companies sticking around? They're keeping the same old goodies and they're doing others products and continuing to make the buyers happy, right? They generally haven't changed a lot of stuff. So explain how product lifecycle works in that way. This is Karen Waksman, Retail MBA. If you want to learn how to approach, pitch, and sell to retailers, if you need consultancies, support, or coaching, if you want a done-for-you service, we have it all listed on retailmba.com. Hope this helps. Thanks so much.